All right, ladies and gentlemen, the prosecution has called their next witness. It is a 9-year-old child, the cousin of the last witness who was also there that day. Take a look.
New York nigga on George Floyd.
Okay, now you mentioned someone named George Floyd.
Yes.
Did you know George Floyd before May 25th?
I can't hear it.
Could you say that again? You can't hear?
No.
Okay. Had you ever met George Floyd before
No.
going in to cut foods that day?
No.
As far as you know, had you ever seen it?
No.
Now, when you came out to where your cousin was and you saw George Floyd, was there a policeman there?
Yes.
Do you remember what the policeman or policemen were doing?
Putting a knee on neck with George Floyd.
If I showed you a picture of a policeman, why don't I just do that? Exhibit 17. Let me ask you if you recognize the policeman in what's marked as Exhibit 17. Do you recognize this man?
Yes.
Who is he?
I can't remember his name.
Okay. Do you remember what he was doing? How do you know him?
He was putting a knee on neck with George Floyd.
Do you see him in the courtroom today?
No.
Okay. How about him?
Yes.
All right. So is that the person then you saw?
Yes.
So you saw a knee being put on the neck of George Floyd. When was the knee taken? Did you see that the knee was ever taken off of George Floyd's neck?
No.
Were you there when an ambulance came?
Yes.
Tell us what happened after you saw the ambulance come.
Yes. The ambulance had to push him off of him.
And how did that happen? Did they simply come in an ambulance and then go up to push him off, or what happened?
They asked him nicely to get off of him.
And when they asked him nicely to get off of him, what did he do?
He still stayed on him.
And then what happened after he still stayed on him? What did the ambulance people do?
They just had to put him off, get off of him.
Are you able to tell us, having been there on this day and seeing the officer on top of George Floyd, how did you feel about that? How did it affect you?
I was sad and kind of mad.
And tell us, why were you sad and mad?
Because it felt like he was stopping his breathing, and it is kind of like hurting him.